Just 1 year ago, after years of budget cuts, Minnesota's most vulnerable citizens faced a crisis. Home and community-based service providers were at a breaking point. Caregivers were locked in with low wages, forcing many to leave the careers and people they love. Service providers were operating on a fiscal cliff. A 5% rate increase was critically needed to sustain life in the community for people with disabilities and older adults and stabilize their service providers. Quality of life and quality care were at stake.
Steve was born in 1956. Over the years, Steve has been really active. This is where Steve lived to be, seriously.
In the last few years, the state faced serious fiscal problems. Not getting the resources we needed in 2013, we launched a huge campaign, the 5% campaign.
It was a non-budget year, and it was going to be a short legislative session, so we knew that we weren't going to be able to accomplish a whole lot, but we thought if we focused on one issue that we might have some success. This wasn't a partisan issue. We simply needed to give a voice to those that did not have one.
When the 5% campaign came into focus, it was like, oh, let's ask Sam and see if he can kind of go out there and talk. And so I was kind of fortunate to kind of rally the troop one year to kind of talk about the 5%, and that momentum kept going.
The campaign really did pick up momentum as one by one, a few legislators and then a few more began to sign on, not only as supporters, but saying, yeah, I'll be a co-author of this bill.
Our goal was to have the majority of legislators signed on to the legislation before the session convened in February of 2014, and we achieved that goal. We had the majority by the time the session started.
We really are, home and community-based services, a cost-effective alternative to institutions. It's cheaper to have somebody living in the community than being in the hospital, and it's so much more wonderful for that person getting services.
If I have to ask myself, what one thing I'm proud about me is I was able to come to work and make a guy like Steve smile and laugh. That's all that matters, you know.
With the success of the 5% campaign, tens of thousands of individuals will live better lives. With caregivers, providers, and families joining their voices together, they will be heard, making the future brighter for Minnesota. Congratulations to the 5% campaign for earning a 2014 Mission Award for Advocacy.